Thanks, John and Michael. Glad to be here and glad to be reading with Ish and Carol. I'm going to start with a poem called The Curve. I have a list of poems that I hope to read. How one incurs the burden of a city and Indians. This is where I came in, by the pest house, through the old woods, not over that flubbery span no sentinel owns, comes into one's own reality, making the place by pacing the place, live or live, change vowel I, heart, the stature commensurate to the gist of the nation, imagination, against the curve, the way it slants in, the lay of the land, unseen but by Indians. Then, thanks ever be to Charles Olson for Indians. Then, the alien eyes, mine eyes have seen the mine eyes alien, Dutch, not Indian, outer planetary, were keener for the curve. How wolves and lions came in. Quote, some affirm that they have seen a lion at Cape Ann, which is not above 6 leagues from Boston. So I round another man's measure to round out my own. To speak of discovera, the pristine we work to inherit. Native load to shoot out again. Is not to make up, Harry Martin, some queer hemisphere. It is to smell, to dig with the hand, to demonstrate, and at least to reclaim, to come in, like Indians, on this curve, from the ravening wood to a city we once could be citizens of. This is called Going Green in the Fall. Into darkness gone, à l'envers de son noir, what hides is what bides. I'm in a cloud, not bad, but red. Say the lake was yellow with yellowing leaves, the light was gold and bold to our eyes. So bold we told each other our untold love. Being smitten, it's called. Lift, only lift your upside-down head. Boo, said the bird of unlikely color, as I move in your body, and rain will fall again and again, and night folds day in its lava hands. Finding the flap. As not yet a flip, but flaw like rift in crystal grows to envelop. Aslant the brook, the willow bends and cracks, ice riving it. What was green, now brown. Music buckles. Above your head, the spider web trembles, ready to catch. At first not sinister, the left hand knows what goes wrong aright and coheres. Complicity. Soft as the day, a velvet springe, so all's outs in free. Speedwell and harlequin spin to snowfall. These seem to be seasonal poems somehow. Strolling Pebble Beach in February. His rock is not my rock, nor yours, but your palm makes it glow. That core a whirlpool in the rock. Stoned, we listen, dumb, or see one red bird in a jungle of grapevines. This is looking at a lot of paintings in the sky, but seeing one master scrawl. Underlies, it does, spread of choices, Wamba's fan-shaped destiny, rocky patternings, to find, refined perception. I see bright sun illuminating absence, snow on juniper, to the feeding station flies, for bread, no red bird. And as you noted, it's Emily Dickinson's birthday. This is called The Heat of Winter Words. Emily Dickinson trudging through the snow, her eyes fixed on the words inside her, roaring furnace. Well, I think I want to read, I wrote a poem long ago about graffiti, using graffiti as if they, like a Lovecraft novel, dealt with ancient mysterious cults. But then I found another poem on graffiti by a German poet named Karl Krolau, 20th century poet. And his take is a little different, but I thought I would read it with mine. This is a translation by Michael Bullock from a book of Karl Krolau. The mythologies of the wall. The mythologies of the wall composed by 8-year-olds or by the hands of the black minutes. We walk past and greet our thoughts. Our women appear in the burnt brick. Our dreams on the wall are older than we. The dying white of the whitewash bears them on its skin. We walk past and many turn away, while behind their backs the wall is already tattooed by moon and dogs. And this poem, which I wrote back in probably in the 50s, a long time ago. It's called Graffiti, Ancient and Modern. Poised in classic haunts of failure, take formal solace, pensive eye, in fragments of a faith forgotten, magic of a ruined cult on ruined walls commended, good talismans of mythic port and habit, sigillary, apt to testify their archetypes of brilliant earth, the primitives. Hermetic, terrible from joy, a rude imagination blazed this iconography, not to animate the game of nerves nor galvanize a rotting fiber, but as supernatural to lead the florid intellect through lovely glades of calm conceiving until it know its final earth. Then Agatha Diamond fall like music from this tainted air, involve the will in fairest music, and fair invite the spirit home, where mirrored in these harmonies, the rapture of itself it views, and how it needs to seem to be. And I'm going to read a little piece, not a poem, but just a sort of a note for an essay I'm writing for not a poetic, but a kind of a magical magazine. And it's sort of called Fake Autobiographical Roots, or Note. 1951, smoky Cleveland. I was young, 20 early, Cleveland nights, The Reverend Bailey, her first name Clarissa Bailey, I think her name was Bailey, spiritual doctor, she advertised herself in the East Cleveland ghetto, as Whitey's called it, taught me basic elements of root work. She was Gullah from Georgia, Sea Islands. Many Gullah blacks had moved to Cleveland in wartime to work in heavy metal industries. Introduced me to a teenage nephew from Pittsburgh in training to be medium, androgyne, for romantic tete-a-tete. Learned from me the little white thelemic magic I knew, rub off our magics on each other. So I make Uanga bags, not called that, dig goofer dust, tricked. Tom and Barbara Drock, who lived in East Cleveland nearby, had introduced me. Glenn Freeman, who worked in the Publix bookmart for the owners, the Levines, the civilized bookstore of Cleveland then, though Peter Kaisigloff and Laukauf's perhaps preceded it. Then in Manhattan found Rendon's Botanica, thanks to Harry Smith, also turned me on to Keel's Pharmacy. Haunted it to buy supplies, make trick bags for acquaintances in Greenwich Village, the San Remo crowd. Kananga water, High John conchs, grains of paradise. Well, then another poem, a fairly recent one, was inspired by one of my favorite William Carlos Williams poems, very short, from his early period, which goes something like, let's see, how does it go? It's a strange courage you give me, ancient star, shine there in the sunrise, to which you lend no part. And Wallace Stevens wrote a poem about that called Nuance on the theme by Williams. Well, mine is related but different since it deals with starry night more. At the games of the gods, how fast the past rushes by, sky dotted with old stars and new stars keep being born in our silly hearts. A la luz de las estrellas, our Marseille de valor. That is, pick up courage, or arm yourself with courage. And there's another here. This is a part of a longer poem, and it isn't titled yet exactly. So, lacustrine, the air. Edgy words, a discipline. The poor with us always. Us? We sought the pale intensities. Sunny the afternoon pasture. I love you. Bookish words, temptation even now. No method. A man said methodology. But the madness? Our warriors are singing as they go. Los guerreros. Of this and that the beaches are full, not so obvious the eyes of cruising men with frisky dogs. Oracles are everywhere, Milo said. They swarm to make a witty history. Love triangles swirling in the sand. Intransitive, what means a cloudy day? Swallowing the old sun rises anew, and we were holding hands in the glow of our cooling joy. I pulled the card of the day, and it was valor. Well, I will close with a couple of poems from the book. This is from a longish poem called The Soluble Forest. God in his ignorance is the father of lies. Justify the domination by untruth, it does, the ugly myth. By untruth, the juice that stupefies. By untruth, the cruel barbar's fantasies. By untruth, the cellophanes enshrouding love. By untruth, the dummies. By untruth, the blinded horse. By untruth, your hands chopping my blocks of heart for so much bloody stew meat. By untruth, the whispering handkerchiefs of torturers. He kisses her under the untrue sign of festival. He stabs her, stabs him, stabs their self in riddling stabs. As what's corruption but that which mystifies, as it shines undead, not the mystery or bliss or satisfaction new in gasping overlaps. To shun, that is the mission of untruth. To turn away, to not attend, handling the unhanded down, the hindrances, the human sink, the cold and fading colors in, the greasy situation, bottomless. And I'll close with the undertaking. Don't ask where is wisdom to be sought as ecstatic music sounds and the loving republic lies rotting away. In polarities confounded, the rights broken and swallowed by public drunkards, abominable tones sounding everywhere, capital to fairy tale Radio City music halls, agriculture, only ownership, the ministers, advertising heartsease. Just don't ask. I won't tell, am feeding my lamb by the still waters, but she dances, the old girl, yet where in the presence, and she is the moist breath of the godly powers, and love is the keeping of her laws, and she is empty of own marks, unstopped, unproduced. She sings, a lotus blue. More precious am I than precious stones, a treasure that faileth never. This household is disordered, but I am the sweetly order of things, and I am temperance and prudence, as men can have nothing more profit in their life than me. Thank you.